Hey there, Variety here. Welcome to today's video in which we're going to be doing a Shadow Witch raid guide for the Challenger difficulty in Tarisland. Previously I did a normal Shadow Witch difficulty, which is a weaker version with less mechanics than the one that I'll be showing you today. Today's video assumes that you have beaten the normal version or have watched the video that I recently released. Today's video is going to focus on the new elite mechanic and the new challenge mechanic that is added on top to make the content more difficult. So in this video, I will not be covering the basics of the normal witch mechanics. If you want to get a fresh reminder, you can have a look in the spreadsheet, which is linked below. I will also link the video there if you need that as well. The video I'm going to show you today is going to be a speed run we were doing on the China. So we got it down to a couple of minutes, which causes her to use her mechanics much faster. So it's going to kind of look a little bit chaotic, but it should be okay. Okay, so let's go and have a look at the speed run. Before we start the raid, I want to show you the two abilities that you need to keep an eye out for. The first one is going to be called Perish. As you can see up the top right, there's a blue circle around a person. You need to stack on that, otherwise they're going to die. It's a really easy mechanic. See big blue circle, stack on top of them. The second ability that you're going to be looking out for is Earth Fury Curse. So throughout the raid battle, they're going to keep dropping a prison on an individual, and it'll put like a red arrow thingy above your head, and you need to place it in a good location. If you fail this mechanic, it's an instant wipe. So throughout the fight, I think it's like 4 or 5 times people are going to get imprisoned. Somebody's going to get put in the middle, and then 3 other people are going to get beams, and you have to point the beams at the pillar. You can hit 2 pillars with 1 beam if you want, but all 3 pillars have to be getting touched by a beam when the mechanic ends, or it's just a wipe. This is the mechanic you really need to pay attention to, and it's the prefix added on for the challenge. We have been doing this for a couple hours at this point, so we've got it down pretty well. We had some struggles getting some DPS to fill out the roster at this point, so we're kind of pugging people in and out. But since we've done this for a while, we knew how to do this quite well. So you always start at the same location. They're going to group up an AoE mob you're about to see die. As you saw, we all AoE'd them pretty good. A second mob's going to spawn an individual, and then a third one. When you kill the second one, you want to run, if you're a melee class, towards the back gate. The reason you want to do that is because you want to save your dash now. You don't want to use that. Some people use it, but I definitely don't as a melee class. So I'm going to run pretty deep down here and go after the raiders. There's going to be 3 mobs that spawn. Usually we had 2 paladins crush these along with the tank. Okay, so here we go. Just be aware that when you kill these, the others do get stronger, and one of them has an interrupt, as I mentioned in the normal witch video, so make sure that you don't let that heal get off. They'll die pretty quickly if you do it right. So at this point, somebody's got a red arrow above their head. See that person there in front of me? They are going to drop the special mechanic. They're trying to get as close to the gate while remaining in the middle of the road as possible. Now 3 people are going to have to point that purple beam at them. I thought it was me for a moment, but it wasn't. So we're all running down towards the gate. Unfortunately, it looks like the tank's a little bit slow, but I run in anyway. And I use my big slam because it does a lot of damage and really helps out. So basically what we're going to be doing here is standing at the front gate and killing the mobs as they spawn. And when the prison drops back down, we're going to put the person in the middle of the road. That way, the people who get the purple lines can clearly see where the pillars are at. Unfortunately, we had many times where people would stand on the corner a little bit, and you couldn't get the pillar when they were kind of like up on the outside of the arena where you can walk. So if you're going to do it here, make sure you do it in the middle of the road. So this one, I believe, works quite well. I'm going to run back in and do some deeps. Okay, it is not me. Wait, it is me. Okay, so let's line up. This is perfect. So as you can see, we've got 1 on each one. I'm really desperate to get back and do the DPS. There we go. Okay, now that the ads are down, we're going to run towards the boss. It's really important at this point not to do what I just did. I actually used this recording specifically for this. do not do what I just did. Do not get done by the traps. So you're going to kill the 3 aslows. You want to try to kill them roughly at the same pace. So you want to spread up your DPS. This took us a while to nail down. And when you kill all 3, she's going to come together and spawn. When she spawns, you're going to unload all of your DPS. About now, somebody's going to get put in a prison again. There we go. There's the prison. You can actually use this prison now as kind of a determination of your speed. Like if it comes up before or after she spawns, is whether you're going too good or too bad. Okay, the pillars are going to get broken, and then we're going to DPS down the boss. At this point, many of the mechanics are just going to get ignored, quite frankly. I believe I stand in a big red beam, because at this point the healer said that we can take one, and that will just heal us to get that bit of extra damage. As you can see, we used everything. We'll move out of that red though, because that's big damage. Here's the big beam. I believe I move out of this one because my HP is too low. The beam spawns based upon how quickly her HP goes down. I believe it's every 15%. So as you can see, the beam is spawning very quickly. If you're unlucky, she can spawn 3 or 4 beams basically on top of each other. Okay, we're going to ignore the shadows because we're trying to do the speed run. Keep dodging the basic AoE. Ignore the harpies. And boom, kill the boss. That is your challenge mode.